Hello everyone, my name is Özgür and in this tutorial I'm going to talk about Node.js and Express.js. First, I want to talk about the course achievements. You will have a basic knowledge about web application development, front-end and back-end development, client-server architecture, what are Node.js and Express.js, why you should use them, and how do you use Node.js and Express.js in a concrete example step by step. First of all, I want to begin with the client-server architecture for better understanding of why we need Node.js and Express.js. Nowadays, most of applications that we use follow the client-server architecture, where client-side is the front end, means user interface of application, and server is the backend part, means the server application that communicates with the database. And in this tutorial, we will focus on the backend part with Node.js and Express.js. As you can see in the snapshot, Node.js and Express.js are placed in between client and database as a backend server. And they are responsible with the GET requests from client side, and by communicating with the database, send response back to the client side. Now let's dive into a little bit deeper. What is Node.js? Node.js was invented by Rindal in 2009. It's an open source, cross-platform runtime environment built on Chrome's V8 JavaScript engine for developing server-side and networking applications. Why Node.js? Because the most of web programming front-end applications frameworks use JavaScript like Angular.js, React.js, and Vue.js. Once you learn JavaScript for front-end development, you don't need to make an extra effort to learn any other language for backend development, because Node.js is also use JavaScript. Also, it provides cross-platform applications which run easily on any web. So basically, don't need anything extra for running up and Node applications. You only need for making one. Also, it executes JavaScript code outside of a browser. And it uses non-blocking and event-driven EO operations. So, what do I mean by event-driven or non-blocking input-output operations? Event-driven means that your program sits there and waits for something to happen. For example, when a user clicks on a button in a browser, an event is generated and Node.js listens these events. When someone connects to your server, event is raised and it acts accordingly to the event. And non-blocking input-output operations means that the server only uses one thread to service all requests. Requests does not need to wait each other. They run asynchronously. Also, Node.js is running on one single thread. As you can see in the snapshot, traditional server development uses multi-thread for serving upcoming requests. But when you look at the Node.js, it is used only one single thread for serving upcoming requests. So let's talk about npm. What's npm? npm is a package manager for Node, and it has packages which are used in our apps to make the development process faster and more efficient. We can install some custom modules such as Express from the npm as per the needs of the applications. And we will install Express later. And what is Express? Express is the most popular Node framework for developing server-side web applications. It was developed by T.J. Holowyak and Strong Loop and others at 2010. Okay, then why Express.js? Why do I need to use Express.js? Because it simplifies the process of writing an HTTP server in Node.js and fast to link to databases like MongoDB and PostgreSQL. It is simple and easy to set up and customization. It lets you identify your application routes based on HTTP methods and URLs. What are the HTTP methods? HTTP methods are post, get, put, and delete. And these and we use them to do CRUD operations. What's CRUD? It is these are the operations such as create, read, update, and delete. And we use post method for creating data, get method for reading data, put method for updating data, and delete method for deleting data. So let's do some practices. Okay, in order to create a Node.js project, you need to install Node.js first. Okay, so we need to download Node.js. I will pick the macOS installer because my operating system is macOS. And once you download, I have already downloaded. You can open it, and by following the installation process, you can install the Node.js. One minute. Okay. This package has installed. Okay. Then you can open your terminal and check the node is installed, if the node is installed or not, by writing this command node -- version. As you can see, node is installed to my PC. Then let's create a new Node.js project. Okay, let's create a new folder, and inside that folder open a new terminal, and by writing code.command we open it with Visual Studio Code. By the way, I will be using Visual Studio Code throughout this tutorial, and you can create an app.js file for your requests. And in order to make it a Node.js project, we need to open a terminal, and we need to write npm init command to it, and it asks us to enter package name. I will name as tutorial, and version will be 1 0.0. And if you want, you can enter description and these inputs. And at the end of it asks to enter yes. And after these, you can see you can see here package.json file will be added to here, but let's wait. It should be added here. Here, as you can see, the package.json file will be added to here. So after the package.json file is added to your project, you can write your codes in here, but I have already prepared a working Node.js server which is interacting with a front-end web application which is developed with React.js, and I will teach you Node.js part, and you will also see the front-end part with React.js, but you don't need to know that, and it is out of this tutorial. So it is the front-end side of my application, and it is run on localhost 3000 port. So let's open it. So as you can see, I have prepared an application without backend side, and its purpose is to get the computer engineering courses at Akdeniz University. But as you can see here, the table is empty because I keep the courses information in a PostgreSQL databases, which can be seen in the PostgreSQL here. You can see the datas here, and by using Node.js and Express.js, we will get these datas, and if we want, we can change these datas. For example, we can delete these datas from the database. So let's look at the server part. So you need to install an Express package to use Express.js. So let's install Express by typing npm install Express. So it is installed, and to use Express.js we create a constant named Express, and to use it we will use require keywords, and we type Express as a parameter. So in order to get Express methods like get and delete, we create a constant named app, and we execute this Express by writing this, and we will connect to PostgreSQL database, which is here. I set up my database here by entering username password, host, default port address, and the database name. You can see my table. My database name is seminar project, and you can see that here. And these are the user and ports is defined values, and this is my password. So after setting this database, we can send requests to this database. We can send requests to Node.js server, and Node.js server will communicate this database and make some changes. Okay, for example, as I said, our table was empty because we don't have permission to get access to database. But from React, we can send our request to our Node.js server. And for example, as I said, the table, the courses table was empty, and to get courses from database, we can call get requests from Express, and as you can see, it takes two parameters. The first one is the URL that requests are sent to. Also, we call them as endpoints. And second argument is a callback function, which will be called when we have an HTTP request to this endpoint. And when we call this method, it will execute this SQL command, and it will get all courses from courses table in our database, and it orders by instructor. You don't need to know these SQL commands, but I suggest you to understand how it is work. You send request from React to Node.js, and Node.js will execute an SQL command for getting the data from our courses table. Okay, and when this SQL command is executes, it returns courses to all courses parameter, and we can send these data to React side, I mean client side, with the response keyword, which is res. But using res.json. It will create a JSON file and send it to client side by entering the all courses.rows, which will send the courses data to React side. Let's see how it works. To start the Node.js server, we need to write npm run dev start command, and it says that it has started on port 3002, and you can determine the port here with app.listen method. I entered the 3009 port. So let's see if it is work or not. When I reload the page, as you can see, the data of courses get it from database thanks to the Node.js server, and also thanks to the Express.js. So this was the HTTP GET method usage, and we can also request a delete request by clicking these delete buttons. And let's try to delete the course Introduction to Artificial Intelligence by clicking this button. And when I click this button, an alert will open, and it says you have successfully deleted course Introduction to Artificial Intelligence. And this alert is about the front end part, and you don't need to learn it. But let's see how we do that in the server part. When we look at the delete method by the parameter course delete, we see the ID parameter, which corresponds to course ID that will be deleted. So we will send the course ID which we want to delete from the client side, and server side take it with the ID parameter, and by typing request dot parameters, which is a keyword of requests, we can take the to be deleted course ID, and by executing this SQL command, we can delete the desired course from our table. So it will also send status, and this means if delete course operation is succeeded, we will send status 2000, which is HTTP OK. And if delete course operation has no outcomes, I mean an error happened, we send this status 404, which is an error message. And that's it for this tutorial. We can get courses from database and delete a course from a database by using Node.js and Express.js. And note that we request this get and delete from front-end side, and the backend side, I mean Node.js and Express.js, will serve these requests by communicating the database, and they send back status request status with the response. And the response could include a JSON file. For example, in get method, we send courses data back to front-end side so users can see all courses in the table. And in the delete method, we send users a status. So according to this status, users see a alert message to deleting operations. For example, when we delete a course, they informed with a alert message, and it is provided by these responses. So that's it for this tutorial. If you have questions, you can type it below, and see you